Hello and welcome to What's Next Wall Street. If y'all could just hear or see what happens while we're waiting to
We're not waiting.
We're not waiting. I'm just saying, if you're watching on YouTube and you watch the video, we're like over here dancing. Anyway, I'm Georgia Alfredas.
And I'm Dancing Dave Mathews. And this podcast is all about stocks, the metaverse, crypto, and the new decentralized financial Web3 world around us and what that means for trading.
Yes, every week we're here with new information and tips that can help you become a more informed trader. Listen, I've got details on all the hot new trending products that everybody is not only talking about, but using and investing in. And today, I've got the deets on what Balenciaga, Vogue, Gap, and Adidas have in common and how their connection might be affecting your portfolio.
Those are fancy brands,
Georgia.
Fancy. Hey, and I'm going to talk about why you need to update to iOS 16.1 right away and why that matters, which is a warning and a tech pun all in one.
Okay, I guess you'll explain later. Listen, we've got Greg Krause, lead instructor at OptionsPlayers.com here with his expert analysis and insight to help you target investment potential. Guess what? We can also direct you to other instructors at Options Players who can help you come up with a tailored trade plan. The goal here at What's Next Wall Street is to provide you with education, information, and tips so that you're not just out here trading recklessly.
Krause is in the house, and I love that.
I like it. Look at you. You're cute.
Hey, we want to hear from you, so email us at www@optionsplayers.com or hit us up on the social medias at BebopBope, What's Next Wall Street with your questions and comments. You can always watch this episode on the OptionsPlayers.com YouTube channel and or listen on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes. Now, whether you're listening to the podcast or you're watching our little faces on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe, hit the alert button so that you always know what's next on Wall Street. And make sure you rate our podcast. So looks like it's a done deal. Elon Musk has reportedly closed his $44 billion deal to buy Twitter. Let that sink in. Now, I'm literally quoting Elon Musk as he walked into the Twitter building carrying an actual kitchen sink.
Did you see this?
Look
This
at that.
blew my mind. This was like the nerdiest thing the king of nerds could do. I'm like, what? Why is he? It's like, I was thinking about the puns, like everything but the kitchen sink.
That's what I thought at first.
Or throw it all in the sink.
Yes,
But
yes.
like, I'm thinking like, is this a disposal sink? But he goes,
Absolutely.
let that sink in.
Yes.
Elon, you were the one that didn't buy Twitter. You were the one that was dragging your feet trying to find funding for this. You were the one that overpriced this. And now teleprompter guy and I before the show are saying like, wish we would have bought some Twitter. Because
I'm thinking it's too late for that.
no one thought this deal was going to go through.
I never thought it was going to do it. But you know, at the beginning of the week, earlier, they were talking about it, and I was like, they're saying there's going to be a deal. There's going to be a deal. So you know what? I think that he may be the best person for Twitter. Okay.
Why is that?
Just because Elon Musk actually Greg said this, but Greg was talking about how he's got all these people and everybody loves him across the globe, and that's why but I just think he's got that twerky personality, and I think Twitter needs him. I really do. Sometimes, I just think Twitter needs him. Meanwhile, if you work for Twitter, you better dust off your resume. Internal documents revealed Elon Musk, or maybe we should refer to him as Chief Twit now,
Which
since
is
that's
what he
what
updated his Twitter
yes,
profile
his bio too. Yes. So Twit apparently plans to cut Twitter's workforce by 75%.
What?
Bad news for those 75% of Twitter employees. Good news for trolls like Kanye West, but we'll get to him a little bit later.
Just what we needed. Another iPhone update. iOS 16.1 will allow iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV users to access Fitness Plus. Yeah, get your fitness on. Gonna get my leg warmers. So even if you don't have an Apple Watch. So Apple is also debuting its iCloud shared photo library, which makes it possible for everyone in a shared group to add, delete, edit the favorite photos or videos. Georgia, that means if you put a photo in that I don't like, I wonder if I can delete it.
Oh, okay.
You never put in a bad photo of me, though.
No.
Hey, I wonder if the late, great Steve Jobs' daughter, Eve, will post yet another meme mocking the latest iPhone updates. Have you seen this?
What?
Following the launch of the updated iPhone 14 and 14 Plus, Eve tweeted this meme of what looks like a grandpa opening a gift with a shirt inside, which happens to be the exact same shirt he's wearing. Check out this on our YouTube to see the meme because The photo has now been deleted.
Yes.
But Eve echoed what some critics say about this. The iPhone 13 and 14, they're pretty much the same, Georgia. They have the same processor. They look kind of the same. Meanwhile, Apple's raising the prices on the Apple TV Plus and its music services for the first time. Apple TV Plus is going from $5 a month to $7, while Apple Music will increase from $10 a month to $11 for the individual plan.
Okay.
Now, the Apple Music Family Plan is increasing by $2 from $15 to $17 per month. Oh, and while we're on it, did you see where Bono apologized for putting U2's Songs of Innocence
He should.
onto everyone's iTunes library in 2014?
Yes, he should.
This was so funny. Bono recently shared an excerpt from his upcoming memoir with The Guardian, in which he takes full responsibility for taking Apple CEO Tim Cook and talking him into giving him the album to all iTunes users for free after backlash started to spread across social media. Bono realized that the move opened up a serious discussion about big tech. He also admitted that it was a bad idea to distribute the band's music to people who weren't interested in listening.
You think?
And you know what's funny is like forever when CarPlay first started coming out in cars, you plug your iPhone in.
And that's the first thing that would come. I'm like, I told my husband, I said, did you put this crap on my phone? Why is it this guy with no shirt on? I was like, who is this? I mean, of course I know it is, but I was like, why would you? This is not my music.
So, and now there's
Where the hell's my Beyonce? Why is this popping up?
My friends would message me back then, and you could not remove it from your phone
couldn't
either.
get it off.
And so Apple had to do a tech bulletin on how to remove it, and they finally let people delete it. But this is like the second time because I think Jobs liked him as well. So this goes back to like when the iPod was a thing before the iPhone. There was music that was locked onto your iPod from him as well. So
I thought that was a deal though. So wouldn't that be a great deal? Like, hey, I'm gonna put like if you're an artist and you're like, listen, make my album on the cover. Everybody gets it. Can you imagine how amazing that'd be?
But this is why people hated buying HP and compact computers back in the day. You'd have all this what's called bloatware, all this self-installed software. When
yes,
you turn
that
on
you
the
don't
computer,
need.
Yeah, you'd have like 500 icons on the desktop. And if you were making software back in the day, oh my God, you would pay nothing to have that software on the desktop, but you would pray that it would happen because you would not get paid for the software.
Okay.
You would pay to be placed on those desktops, hoping people would click and launch your crapware.
Crapware.
Another term for the software.
All right, so let me tell you something. My husband loses his mind every Halloween, okay? Loses his entire mind. Actually, I should say he does it for every single holiday. So we have ridiculous Halloween decorations outside right now. It's embarrassing. And he has already begun to assemble a 12-foot Christmas tree in our foyer.
That's too early.
No, he has. No, it's ridiculous.
Come on,
so, listen, I was
Thanksgiving
really...
at
Hello?
Yes.
This is how... So you know what, Dave? Because I really thought this was like some kind of white thing. I was like, is it because you're white? Is this a white thing? So you don't do it. Your family doesn't do it.
Hell no. Thanksgiving.
All right.
That's it. That's the cutoff. That's like, it's in the white people book of things to do.
It's in the black people book of things to do too. After Thanksgiving or maybe on Thanksgiving Day. It's something you could do after you have turkey. So I was so glad when this report came out to let me know that we're not, or he's not the only crazy. Consumers are going to spend about $10.6 billion on candy, costumes, and decorations this year. That breaks down to about $100 per person. So half of those consumers are buying outdoor decorations. And I'm not talking about pumpkins. Walmart has over 3,000 fall and Halloween products this year, while Target has 200. Home Depot has twice as many products as it did last year, including a $300 12-foot skeleton.
By the way, this skeleton, people go crazy over. It's got this whole cult following on the interwebs.
Yeah.
And I saw this video this guy posted of this guy has the 12-foot skeleton in his yard. And every morning, the neighbor pulls up with their how tall are they when they start to walk?
Oh my gosh,
just
tell the story.
Like little
How tall are they?
I'm sorry, how young are they? They're like, the kid looks like 4 or 5, and he waddles up like a little drunken man, and then hugs the skeleton, and then runs back to the car. It's adorable, but these skeletons are out of control.
No, people love them. Lowe's has another. They have a 12-foot mummy for $350. Sadly, my husband has them beat. We have this, and if you're watching, you have to watch this on YouTube. We have a 20 feet tall cat in our front yard. I'm not even kidding. It's in our front yard, and it drives me bananas because everybody comes by to see the stupid cat. But I digress. It's ridiculous.
Is that like the wacky inflatable?
If you're watching, you have to watch. This is how tall the goddamn cat is. Taller than our house almost. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, you got to check out our YouTube channel for this if you're listening on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. This thing, the tail is higher than the crown of the house.
He gets so excited. But even though we all hear about this recession and this inflation, Halloween is one of the biggest retail spending events of the year. And big box retailers are going to be reaping the benefits. Get it? Reaping like reaper. Okay, by the way, Halloween candy is up 13% from last year. I got to know, quick, what's your favorite Halloween candy?
Reese's, but not Halloween, like 24/7.
Okay, and Greg, Greg is here in the building. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
I like sour stuff.
Nobody here likes candy corn?
No, who likes candy
Emilio, our
corn?
producer, what's your favorite? What's your favorite?
Kit
Okay,
Kat.
Kit Kat.
teleprompter guy, what's your favorite?
Three Musketeers for teleprompter guy.
Okay, all right.
All right, well, in other very hard-hitting, pressing news, people must really love our podcast.
Yay!
Spotify gained 23 million monthly active users in quarter three for 456 million in total. That's 456. That's cute. Total revenue for them was at $3 billion with a B dollars, and that's a 21% bump from last year.
Cool.
Hey, just a reminder, you can listen to our podcast anywhere, including Spotify.
Wink, wink. Zingo. Okay, there is a simple and secure crypto wallet. It's called Zingo. And when I tell you it has saved my life, I'm not joking. Every day we hear about cryptocurrency being lost or stolen. Over $100 billion worth, specifically because of poor key management, scams, and hackers. All because the wallet is not secure. A single private key can be lost, hacked, or simply misplaced. Y'all, I cannot keep up with my physical car keys. Now I have to keep up with my crypto wallet key? Nah. That's just not going to happen. Our new sponsor, Zingo.com, has been a total game changer for me. Now, Zingo Crypto Wallet has completely leveled up wallet security. Here's how. Zingo is an on-chain crypto wallet with no private key vulnerability, leveraging advanced cryptocurrency called MPC, which until now has only been available to multi-billion-dollar institutions. MPC makes recovery easy. There's no single point of failure or phishing, and it's entirely user control. Your Zingo account is secured by 3 factors, which is why recovery is so simple and stress-free. There's no private key to steal, so your crypto assets and NFTs are harder to hack. That's why Zingo calls itself Web3's most secure wallet. Zingo has it all. For me, Zingo's just the easiest wallet to use and understand. They've got live prices and market caps of cryptocurrencies, multi-chain support. Zingo is so user-friendly. It only took me like a minute to create an account. So easy. Do yourself and your wallet, your crypto wallet that is, a favor. Buy, trade, connect to Web3 dApps and store your crypto with Zen. Oh, and did I mention that Zingo has legendary in-app 24/7 live support with, wait for it, real humans. Zingo is the most secure Web3 wallet and the best place to keep your crypto, NFTs, and assets secure. It's also fully recoverable using their biometric recovery kit. Download the Zingo app from the App Store or Google Play. That's Zengo, and use code WNWS to get $20 back on your first purchase of $200 or more. That's code WNWS for $20 back on your first purchase of $200 or more when you download Zingo from the App Store or Google Play. Terms and conditions may apply. See site for details.
Hey, this pro tip is brought to you by OptionsPlayers.com, and it's one everyone needs to understand. Oversold is overused. Now, traders often hear the term and think it's time to load the boat on stocks, but you have to remember that unless a stock is at zero, it's really not oversold or at absolute bottom. So keep that in mind when getting into positions. A seller needs a buyer for a trade to happen and establish the last price. And if there are no buyers at any moment, then the stock will go lower, no matter what the indicators say or what the past sales show. So remember this when going all in on your favorite beat up plays.
Hey, if you've got questions or comments, we want to hear from you. So email us at WNW@OptionsPlayers.com or leave a comment on the Options Players YouTube page. This first email comes from AJW of OptionsPlayers.com community. AJ says, my question for the show is, what will be the impact of the Fed shrinking their balance sheet. Is it likely they will return the balance sheet size to pre-2008 levels? Holy cow. i.e. before QE started. Greg, 2008? Like what?
So right now we're probably right about $9 trillion. All right, that's what the Fed's balance sheet is. All right, and what they're going to do and how they're going to lower it is they're not going to like sell it off or anything like or purchase more. Basically, they're just going to stop repurchasing. So when one of these bonds expire, that's it, and it'll lower it down. Let's just say they do. This is over what they really want to do. But let's just say it's $100 billion a month. Okay, that's what they're going to elapse. And right now, their current is actually like 80. Let's just say it's $100 billion. It'd take a year to reduce $1.2 trillion, and we're at 9. And in 2008, I didn't even look because it probably wasn't even above $1 trillion. Just put it this way: we were around $4 trillion before COVID really hit, and we had to do. We didn't have to, but we
give away money.
We gave away all this money to everyone, right? So I think the goal was probably to get it down closer to that, maybe not 4.3 or 4.5, at least to that little 5. I know the Fed came out and said what their goal was, and I do believe it was probably around that 4 trillion. I don't, you know me, I don't trust anything they say anyways, because they're going to change their mind in 5 months, right? So I do think they will slowly knock that down. What does that mean for us? It's just quantitative easing. It's going to be, more money is going to not get pushed in by the government into this bond market. So, that's it. Higher rates in bonds, that might cause a little bit of the money coming out of the market to go back into bonds, as most of those are more safe havens than that, especially treasuries. But then you also have the rest of the world economy, and
what
their
China
markets are
say?
going down.
China said they're no longer going to try and compete with the U.S. on overtaking our economy. Did you see this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
They never claimed defeat.
Their government less than ours, right? So, but their inflation's worse. The European inflation's worse. Their markets are doing worse than ours. So even foreign investors, they have to invest money. And now where are they looking at? They're looking at the safe haven of the United States Treasury and our market. So it could go way further down if, say the European markets, the Chinese markets start doing better. That money might go back overseas. Right now, we're just the safe haven, and that's kind of probably propping us up. But that's just my opinion. But
Yeah, because we started with supply chain issues, then we had all the free money that was thrown out, then we had all the ships backed up in the ports. And it's so funny to go back to our old shows and see, like, we covered all this stuff on a month-by-month basis on what was going on with the economy. And with Greg's insights on, like, peeling back the layers of the onion to see what was really going on, it's, like, fascinating that we're in this position now where homes sales, I'm seeing some of these homes drop $20,000, $40,000. Home builders are not building anymore. Interest rates for homes are just 7%, which is a really low rate, but it was 2%.
It was 2%. If you can get one for 2 or 3%, you screwed yourself.
I mean, it is what it is. Like right now, I don't know if the government will. Let's just say they say that the Fed is not political. We all know that for some reason that's not the case, regardless of what you want to think. This is probably the first time ever that we've raised rates underneath the Democratic president, almost ever. Obama did raise them twice, but like 0.25 after the election. So he basically raised it 0, right? So there's a lot of political things right there going into these rates. And so cash purchases of houses and then refinance, things like that, a lot of people will do that. So personally for me, when rates go high, people have to start, the demand's not there. Prices go down in your homes. And this is not what I'm telling you to do, but if you could find a house that you're willing to pay for that, you might get lucky, and later on, the rates drop and you can refinance.
That's right.
Okay.
And I mean, that's what the big banks are doing.
Yeah.
And this is how we transfer wealth, regardless of how it is. It's not just when we have, but when things are doing really good also, they buy all this stuff, pay it off, and then when the rates get dropped to help the lower people, let's just say that, what they think is lower people, the less fortunate, then they can refinance it, and then they get it for a steal.
Yeah.
So it's never helping us, okay?
A lot of my buddies
I'm telling
are
you,
like,
everything is helping the people in power.
Yeah, a bunch of my buddies are like, hey, let's sell things we can right now, raise some cash, because they're waiting for that buy-in.
That's right.
As things get
I'm
cheaper.
waiting.
And
I'm
look,
waiting.
how many, like refinancing a house in the last decade, that was like the thing to do 10 years ago. That was not a big deal. Like,
Yeah.
and then balloon mortgages and all that other crap that got
Oh my
us
gosh,
upside
remember
down.
balloon mortgages?
Yeah, you'd pay a little bit of percentage rate for the first 4 years, assuming that you'd only be in that house 4 years anyways. It's like a starter home, and then you'd get out of it before the mortgage would balloon. And everybody knows this. As soon as you move into a house or an apartment, whatever you moved into,
You're never leaving.
you're not leaving.
Because your drawer, you got that chunk drawer you got to clean out.
So, hey, this next email comes to us from Stephen A. from OptionsPlayers.com. He commented on the YouTube channel. So do that. Get on the
Yes.
YouTubes and beep, bop, boop, and type your things in, and we read those things. Hey, what made Greg want to get into trading stocks and options? Ooh, a question for our pundit here on
You want a
why.
lie or you want the truth?
Give us a romantic story about you as a child.
Greg was on the drum line in high school.
You were not.
I was.
You were on the drum
I was
line?
in the Mumford High School band. They're a pretty good band. And we went on, I don't know what we were doing. I think it was we played like presidential inauguration. Mumford
Wow.
High School band is still one of the better bands in the country.
So it was a touring band. Like you left
We're a
Louisiana.
marching band, but we went everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
You never saw Drumline with
movie,
Nick Cannon?
Yeah, the
Come
movie
on.
Drumline.
So the director, Troball, he was really good at getting all this. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
The
he took
teleprompter
us
guy
through and
said
went
you were
really
the
well.
baton guy.
Well, whatever. I went to a band trip, whatever. We were doing some show at Six Flags in St. Louis. I know we were there. And sorry, kids, I brought some vodka on this trip.
How old were you?
I don't know. I was probably like 15, 16, right?
Okay.
Wow.
And whatever, somebody was a snitch, right?
Yeah,
And
there's always
told
one.
on it, and then I was the only. Well, a few of us got in trouble, of course, and I had to go. And this was right at the end. I had to go to summer school, and it was like an alternative school, you know, like where you got to wear like blue jeans and a shirt. And I was a preppy little kid, you know. I take AP. I took calculus in like 9th grade, and I'm in this alternative school, and there was no classes they could offer me because it was between my junior and senior year. So what was I supposed to do? Like, they had no classes. They didn't have AP English, and that was the only class I needed to graduate. So there was nothing. So I remember his name, Mr. Sterling. I'm sorry if he sees this or this is embarrassing, but he does remind me of the guy with the stapler on the Office movie.
Oh, yes.
That's
But
Office Space.
It's just his attitude was that. But there was nothing for us to really learn. So he actually took it upon himself to teach us about stocks and trading. And, you know, we had those little fake Yahoo accounts that you could go on and do.
Yeah, it's
so we
a
started
trading
those.
account with like you can still trade, but it's zero money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, growing up, we learned nothing about finance. Still, kids know
Yeah,
nothing about
it's
finance,
ridiculous.
especially about investing or future value of money. And that got me started, and I did really good, right? And I in the little fake thing, and then my mom and dad were like, "What do you think I should do it in?" And I was like, "I don't know. This is what I did, and I did good money." And, of course, I didn't really matter because this was right before the dot-com bust, so everything lost at that point. But, you know, that's what got me started, made me think about that money. He did. So from there, you know, although my first graduate degree was in ethics, then an MBA in finance and stuff like that. But, you know, that's what got me started.
So I would say what got you started.
And the only class that they could teach me was about the
finance.
stock market and things like that. Me and the other band nerds, because
Yeah.
we normally didn't show
Yeah.
up to alternative school.
Oh,
You know?
remember that time in band camp? Just kidding. Remember that?
Band camp.
No, but so it really got him started was vodka, which is what gets my husband started
Yeah.
every single day. So
That's so funny. And that Six Flags in St. Louis is the one I used to go to as a kid when I was growing up there. So crazy small world here in the Midwest.
y'all probably
Midwest.
ran into each other.
Midwest, that's it.
Yes.
No, it was a few years
Ain't
after
no
me.
mid-best.
Mid-best. Hey, if you got a question, you can hit us up on social media, just with the @ What's Next Wall Street, or message in the comments section of our YouTube page, or email us www.OptionsPlayers.com with your questions, and you too can ask the deep, daring questions like we just found out about Greg. Hey, Georgia, do you have any smart home things like a TV that streams from the cloud, a
Yes.
speaker like
Yes.
Alexa, or
All
a
that.
thermostat that lets you adjust from your phone? Beep,
Wait,
boop, boop.
what?
When
No.
you leave the house?
I want that for Christmas. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, we do.
teleprompter
Okay,
guy
sorry.
says they have
He
it.
says
That
we have
teleprompter guy knows a lot about your house.
I know.
It's so weird.
He's so weird.
Hey, well, those things
Stalker.
all require a networking configuration setup and on devices that don't have keyboards and displays, that's pretty difficult. Like setting up a thermostat with Wi-Fi, you've got to use the dial-y bebops. So, hey, it's also a vegetable soup of acronyms to help achieve these network features. They started with terms like UPnP, DLNA, even Bluetooth LE to set up Wi-Fi, or Z-Wave discovery and light bulbs. Truth is, those technologies never did work very well or are not 100% compatible between different brands.
Okay.
So Apple used a discovery framework for a couple decades called Bonjour, which actually worked to find speakers, backup drives, and printers on a network, as long as the products had the Apple technology licensed in, and Apple gets paid for that. So you can even print from your iPad or iPhone without installing drivers thanks to Bonjour, which is super cool.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, oui, oui. So in the fall of 2022, a new technology named Matter launched with iOS 16.1, and it's supported with new hardware in the Apple TV streaming products, and it'll be a network, a new radio.
Okay.
But what does this mean for you? In short, it's a framework for your Internet of Things home devices to connect back to the cloud and Apple's Home app. You can ask Siri what the temperature from your smart thermostat is, or if you remember to lock the door if you have modern devices.
I like that.
Oh, and you definitely want to update to iOS 16.1 as soon as possible too. Several big bugs were found where your iPhone can be taken over by rogue software through vulnerabilities of previous versions of iOS 16.
Great.
So it's got a lot of cool features that you can learn about through our episode 2 weeks ago when I covered them. So Matter is a consortium of both hardware brands like Google and Assa Abloy, who owns the August smart door locks, as well as TV streaming providers and even IKEA. Hell, I think Kroger's even in the mix for some reason.
Wow.
Don't ask me why.
Okay.
So Amazon is stated to be a member too, but they're also playing in another sandbox with their protocol called Sidewalk. If you buy an Alexa smart speaker or Ring camera, those can use the Sidewalk protocol to build a mesh network using your own network shared to your neighbor's devices. Now, this is a low-speed network, so don't worry.
Okay.
It could be used to share credentials like your Wi-Fi login between new devices, or let things like the Ring brand. They offer garden lamps to be turned on once a camera detects motion. So think about
I do like that. I love that.
The camera sees motion, then these lamps.
I like that.
So they even tease devices, Amazon does, like dog collars and keychains that will use the Sidewalk network to let you know where the stuff you love or lost is.
Oh, so if you lost your puppy.
Yeah, your little pupperoonie.
Okay.
So we're still in the infancy of a lot of these services. So you have to expect that the companies will have some learning curves to A, make them secure. It's obviously key if you're sharing your network. And B, entice users to turn them on once they install these home hubs. Now, I bet a lot of people see these new technology terms like Sidewalk and Matter, and since they don't know anything about them, they disable the feature because of lack of knowledge and potential need. So that's why I decided this would be an interesting segment. So that being said, there aren't a lot of devices out supporting Matter now, but expect by Christmas to have flurries of devices. See what I did there?
Yeah, I got it. Christmas flurries.
You can have them instantly pair with your network by scanning a QR code from the iPhone, and then that Matter device will be added to the home network.
I like this.
Gone are the days, we hope, where you will need to plug a device in the wall, connect to that device's Wi-Fi, then load your home network settings in the device, and then have the device reboot, reconnect to the network, and then hope your phone reconnects to the network too, which is what the setup procedure's been like before. It's a cluster, it's a hack, and it's what we had to do because few vendors used Bluetooth Low Energy to enable credential sharing.
Okay.
So best of all with Matter, you can set up a focus for home automation on your iPhone, and the devices you install show up under the clock on the lock screen. So now you don't even need to technically load an app to control them. If you use Siri, that's even better. She knows what devices exist in your home and may ask you which room you want to change the status of a speaker or light bulb in.
That's cool.
Now, Apple, I love the focus that's being added to your home infrastructure. But listen to me, because Siri isn't. When I say turn the stairs lights on, and she knows the state of them being off because I've got an Apple TV or HomePod acting as a home watchdog, having her ask, okay, the stairs are off.
I hear her saying, you said her name, she's talking to you.
So is it so hard to delineate my voice command, check the state of the device, and if it's on or off, then make the right assumption that I said if it's off, I want it on, instead of regurgitating the wrong thing? Can we fix that, Apple?
I just heard her. I
Okay,
think
thanks.
that she just turned your lights on.
She's very angry. Oh, yeah. My whole house is now, I just set to 72 degrees.
Oh, my gosh.
And
That's
it's playing
hilarious.
my favorite new Taylor Swift album. And all the lights are on for some reason. So
Hilarious. I love it.
we'll fix that later.
Okay, Dave. Today I'm covering a little SNS, otherwise known as
Sexy
Stars.
Saturday?
No, Stars and Stocks. And you probably have an inkling of today's star of the show. Yes, Kanye West.
No, he's not a star.
I know.
Remove his star.
Yes, he is. Now, the fallout after his anti-Semitic remarks continue. And he started off the week as a billionaire, and now the poor guy, I use the word poor loosely.
I mean, who didn't start off as a billionaire this week?
I know, right? Now he's only worth about $400 million. That's because he lost just about every one of his lucrative merchandising deals. The Gap pulled all their merchandise from their stores, all of his merchandise from their stores, and shut down YeezyGap.com. Adidas dropped him like a hot potato. So did Balenciaga. Even TJ Maxx says they're not fooling with him. Wait, I didn't even know you could get Yeezy merch there, but whatever. You won't
Maybe
get it now.
Closeouts.
Maybe, but I digress. Remember, TJ Maxx is also Ross Burlington and Macy's, so maybe Macy's. Anyway, he lost his agents, his lawyers. Vogue won't touch him with a 10-foot pole. Peloton even announced that they won't include any of his music in future classes. Yeah, and get this. He showed up unannounced and uninvited at Skechers headquarters, and they kicked him to the curb. Literally. Stevie Wonder could have seen that coming. Skechers was founded. Yeah, Skechers was founded by and continues to be run by a Jewish family. You thought you was going to walk up in Skechers? Please. So they had him literally escorted all the way out of the building. Even Madame Tussauds has removed his wax figure
Did they melt it down?
From their museum. So Kanye's own academy, listen to this.
Wait.
It's just shut down. Not kidding.
Would they teach how to spell Yeezy?
Maybe. Parents who were foolish enough to enroll their kids into Donda Elementary, and by the way, it's a private school, so they have to pay for it. Those parents received an email this week stating that the Donda Academy was shutting down effective immediately. The email literally said, there is no school tomorrow.
In all upper caps, probably.
Oh my gosh. So Kanye still has his music, though. You know, I doubt if radio stations will stop playing him. I mean, we still play R. Kelly. We still watch Harvey Weinstein produced movies and so much more. And Kanye's got Instagram. They reinstated his page. Plus, Elon is buying Twitter, so he'll always have a place there. Now, Kanye was apparently in talks to buy the right-wing social media app Parler. His buddy Candace Owens is married to the CEO of Parler. I don't know if he can even afford that anymore now. So we can talk about cancel culture and whether or not these companies are right or wrong, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about the bottom line. So Kanye obviously never learned the golden rule. The customer is always right. And obviously customers are tired of his racist rants and don't want to spend their money with companies who look the other way. Now, there are so many layers to this, and we just don't have time to peel every one of them back.
Just stupidity or probably obviousness.
Yeah.
That should be like number one.
So I just want to know this, Craig. Yeezy sneakers and Yeezy stuff has been the hottest ticket in town. They're like J's, Jordans. People wait for them to come out. I've seen people line up for blocks, and then there's only a few of each size, and it creates so much demand. I mean, the Vogue cover with Kanye West, and Kim Kardashian is almost a collector's item. So will these companies who dropped Kanye see a bump, or will they lose out? Some, like Peloton, may not even have anything to lose. Maybe some of them come out with these anti-Kanye statements so that they're in the news cycle. What do you think? What's your take?
Yeah, I don't think Kanye was really making too much revenue for a lot of people. Like Adidas, you said, is probably about one of the only ones because it did cost a lot to partnership with them. So I think it was probably they had to like distance itself from Kanye, which you're probably a few years late on that. We all know the guy's a little out there. Walking around with a MAGA hat acting crazy, I'm not against MAGA people or anything. I'm not saying that, but he's weird. Yeah. All right. So I don't think it's going to affect.
I'm not saying anything bad about him, but he's weird.
He's just weird.
When did Kardashian drop him? Was that when the craziness?
Okay, so that's exactly it. So he's just not in the limelight. Now, in the limelight, TikTok's making people famous all over the place. Everywhere else is. Are Kardashians as well? maybe the younger ones are becoming more famous rather than Kim and Courtney and I don't know the other one.
Chloe.
Chloe, there you go. All right, sorry, Chloe.
They all start with K,
I
but
suck
go
with
ahead.
names anyways.
Chloe's a C, Georgia.
No, she says she spells her name with a K because they're all
whatever.
Okay.
All right, but they're kind of going away, so he's probably not the number one ticket anymore. And distance yourself. I don't think it's going to help. I think normally it was probably one of those things where like when he announced he was going to have a deal with someone, it was probably to purchase right before that and then ride the news up and then actually sell the event. Because you kind of saw what happened with Gap, right?
Yeah.
Gap stock went way up when he started discussing about, I'm going to do this with Gap and Old Navy, blah, blah. And then nothing really ever happened.
They sold like one coat, I think, right?
I bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't think it's going to affect.
But I'll tell you something. I think that he did change, and he came into my radio station, and we had a sit down interview with him, and he was telling us this was years ago before he married Kim Kardashian. He was like, "Y'all, like our show's over at 10 a.m." He was there till 10:30. We were like, "Can we go home? We've been here since 5." He was like, "I'm gonna come out with this shoe, and I tried to talk to Nike about it. It's gonna be amazing." We're like, "Yeah." We're like, "Send us a box when you get him." He's like, "No, I got this deal with Adidas, and everybody's gonna love this shoe." And I think it did revolutionize. The shoe market. We did do it in the 90s. People were like, wore Jordans, and now that's back. But I never bought Balenciagas.
I'm not hating on Kanye's genius there.
I think he is genius.
I think his anti-sentiment comments, I'm not going to, no, it's wrong. It's wrong.
Hate speech is wrong.
But
We condemn it.
in all general, it's all out there.
Yeah.
And in the public view, he's always been this, like I said, this weird guy. But that was always kind of his genius. He was different.
That's right.
You knew when you heard his songs that, hey, this is Kanye. This is a sick beat.
Yeah.
And then, and with everything else, it was, nobody was walking around dressed like him in America until he did it, really. He might have saw it in Europe or something, but you look at it and you'd be like, what's this doing on the runway? And, it's Fashion Week.
And what's the HBO documentary on him?
It's called Genius, and it's really, it was eye-opening, although I'm going to tell you something. When he was on our show, I was like, this boy is crazy. Honestly, I was
full of passion.
Yeah, he's just, I think that's, a lot of times the geniuses are the ones who.
You got to be crazy or you just be like crazy. The normal person, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So.
But I wonder if HBO is going to drop the Ye documentary. So
the Ye. Don't be calling him Ye.
Whatever.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks, Greg. If you have a question for Greg or you want to get at me or Dave, email us at WNW@OptionsPlayers.com. Hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street or comment on the Options Players YouTube page.
You can, of course, watch episodes of us on the What's Next Wall Street YouTube page or listen on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcast. Make sure to subscribe and hit the alert button so you can get current trending info as soon as it drops. I'm Dave Mathews.
And I'm Georgia Alfredas. We will see you next time on What's Next Wall Street.